Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the first day of the Norway Chess 2022. A big apology for being late here. I wanted to start at 10:45, but right now I see it's 11, well past 11. So very sorry for that. Uh, I'm here now, and we are going to witness some amazing bit of chess. This is one of the strongest open tournaments that we are having. I mean, strongest classical event that we are having right now. And we're going to go through the games. We're going to learn a lot. So, a very, very warm welcome to everyone here. And we're going to enjoy this stream. Now, Vishy Anand is playing here. So, just so that you are aware who are the players taking part in this event, we have Anand, Carlsen, Wesley So, Mamedyarov, MVL, Anish Giri, Radjabov, Wang, Topalov, and Aryan Tari. So Richard Rapport was going to play, but instead of him, Aryan Tari is playing. And this is the position currently on the board in the game of Vishy Anand. He is clearly better. He has 44 minutes on the clock. And why is Anand better? Can anyone tell me in the chat? Everyone's like stream cancelled and all. No, guys. Yes, I'll go through the start of this. Yes, he's a pawn up. Yes, because of the d pawn. Exactly. If you count the number of pawns, he has black has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns. White has 6 pawns. So white is better. But black is looking for counterplay. And black is looking for some sort of an attack in this position. He wants to basically checkmate uh, or at least get some perpetual against the king. So here's my question to you. If black were to take here and you take back, do you think like this king is too weak? How many of you think that the king is exposed? Black has dark squared weaknesses on the king side, says Rachit. That's a good point, Rachit. There are weaknesses here for sure, but it's not so easy to take care of it. People are saying no, they are not afraid. Look, if you go here, don't you think I'll give you a check? Check, check, draw ho jayega. Not weak enough. The main reason why this position is not so bad for white, and actually it's completely fine, is because of two reasons. One is that after king g1, there are no checks in the position if you look closely. Second, the rook is not in the game somehow. It's too far outside. Yes, exactly. King g1. Good answer by Ramesh Kote, Madhav Krishna, Shubhankar Sinha. Well done. King on g1 is excellently placed. Also, the knight is a great defender to the king. The knight is taking care of the white king very, very well. So for now, it seems like MVL is not going to be able. So let's say, for example, if you take here, it's another option as such. But then I can play, let's say d7. I don't care. You give me a check. I will move with my king here. And once again, the checks are going to end here. So the king always doesn't mean that if there are no pawns in the front of the king, it is exposed. Now MVL, that's the reason why he did not take here on f3. He in fact went rook to b5. So here's my question to you guys, that what is MVL planning? For example, if you go d7, why is this a big mistake? Let's use our chat chess moves. I think finally it's working well. So we'll be able to use it today. What is the problem with d7? Gaming star. Okay. Let's see. There are some mistakes. There are some people are like not yet warmed up. Guys, thoda open your eyes, focus. You're going to, it's a very important game that is going on right now of Vishy Anand. It will impact his classical rating. You can't blunder just like that. You can't blunder pawns. You can't blunder pieces. Okay, let me see how you guys have fared. Oh, rook d5 is the highest move and knight d7 is the other main move. Okay, now look here. Rook d5 is an absolute mistake. It's a huge mistake. Because I will just make a queen and I'll give you a check, and at the end you are going to lose a complete rook. You're a rook down. So rook d5, bad move. But all those who said knight d7, that is the correct move, because after knight d7, queen d7, you might think, oh my god, rook is hanging, I'm a piece down. But ekdam shanti se, queen takes e2, defends the rook, and also you win back the pawn. So all those who gave the right answer, knight d7, excellent job. Let me see who are they. Gaming Star, Nikhil Chahal, Rajam Shankar, Arpit Gupta, Kanwa Sen Gupta, AK, Saurabh Jindal, Krishna Pandit, Venkatraman Nayak, and Aniket Vishwakarma. Well done, all of you. Excellent job. So let's go back and see now that Anand cannot push his pawn. Now, once Anand cannot push his pawn, you start wondering, oh my god, what to do? Because what is MVL thinking? Oh my, you realize now what MVL has done. Imagine that white does some stupid move. Okay, rook d1. Okay, rook d1 anyway looks very bad. But just for an example. Now, rook d5 of course seems possible, but also knight takes f3 should not be underestimated. Here d7 still possible, but imagine if I take. Now what happens is, earlier king h2 queen f2 is a draw. You already know that. This is the advantage of looking at a variation beforehand, so that now you know, okay, king g1, will the rook now join in the game? Rook to f5, and suddenly the rook on b8, which was standing really sad outside the game, is now into the game and threatening all sorts of things, queen f2 check and all of that happening. So that's the reason why here I would say that Vishy has to start becoming very careful about what you want to play, because d7 not possible, knight f3 on cards, also rook d5 is a move. Also Anand might think, hey, can I give a check? You know, check looks good, because every time you see a check, there's a saying in chess, Pazzer sees a check, Pazzer gives a check. What does that mean? मतलब वही अभी इंग्लिश तो आता है, but Pazzer means basically a person who is a beginner in chess. He sees a check, he gives a check. But after king g7, has it improved white's position? On the contrary, it looks like his position got a bit worse, because now queen f1 check in the air. There are some problems here. So I don't think that this is going to work out. There is no continuation also, which looks really powerful here. So check doesn't seem a good idea. So what to play? Khele to khele kya, kare to kare kya? That's my question to everyone in the chat now. What should Vishy Anand play? Now that you have some idea about this position, here is my question. Come on, guys. What should Anand play? Ujjan Bhattacharya. Oh, Ujjan Bhattacharya says, I won under 17 national school championship. Arey Ujjan, congratulations. I saw your interview on ChessBase India. Aditya had done your interview, and congratulations to you. You know, many of the people who follow our commentary, our lessons on ChessBase India videos are doing well in their tournaments, and that is excellent, which also means that if you are able to give a lot of good answers here, then you can consider about playing tournaments. It means that you are good. All those who are asking about time control is the following. Each player will have 120 minutes on the clock with an increment of 10 seconds after move 40. Okay, so there is no increment until move 40. Matlab move 40 mein, if you're on move 30 and you have 10 minutes left, it means you can even lose on time. So no increment till move 40. After move 40, 10-second increment per move only. Players are obliged to record moves on the score sheet starting from first move. A player can stop recording the moves in the second period, that is after 40 moves, when he has less than 5 minutes. if there is a draw, then the players will move on to Armageddon within 20 minutes after the draw. White pieces will continue with white in the Armageddon. With this, there will be a winner in each game because black pieces will win if the game ends in a draw in Armageddon. What is the time control for Armageddon? White has 10 minutes, black has 7 minutes with an increment of 1 second per move starting from move 41. Players are not allowed to agree to a draw till move 30. If you win the main game, you get 3 points. If you lose the main game, you get 0. If you draw the main game but win the Armageddon, 1.5 points. If you draw the main game and lose Armageddon, 1 point. Okay? पूरा rules बता दिया आप लोगों को. Now everyone knows all the rules. You are all champions of the rules. People are like, freeze हो गया. अच्छा, freeze हो गया. What is freeze? Anand is still thinking. But let me see what you guys have come up with. F4. Awesome chat. Well done. F4. What a move. Now, with F4, Vishy is thinking, I can attack the knight. Now, this knight, where does it go? It has no real good squares to come in front. Because here, when we were thinking of the sacrifice, I don't even need to take it. I can just push d7, d8, queen. मतलब ये knight कर क्या रहा है यहाँ पे? It's doing nothing. Okay, you want to take my queen? Fine. और एक जिंदा होगी. Something else and I'm peace up. Okay. So here f4 looks like a great move. He will have to go back to d7. And then in such a position, you can now try to make some kind of a tactical move, but we'll come to it in a bit. First, let me read all those who have given the move f4 as the answer. Code F, Soham, Aditya Gaming, Amrit, Dhruv, Sharad, Yunus, Kanwa and Vivin. Excellent job, guys. Fantastic. You all are tremendous. Now I want an answer here. Okay. What will you play as white in this position? Although this has not happened. After rook b5, we are still analyzing. But we go f4. We kick the knight away. It has to block and find a beautiful move here for white. This is superb move. People are saying, Arjun says, why not f4 rook d5? Arjun, that's a very good question. Let me come to it. And we have a super chat by Mr. Great 123. Is there an advantage for players to write the notation down? I mean, why write it when it's been tracked by broadcasters and hosts? True. But it's also like, what is the point of having an umpire in cricket when you already have third umpire, when you already have that slow-mo replay, when you already have LBW, there is this Hawkeye and whatever, all these technology. It just adds to the game. The umpire adds a human touch to the game, and I think it's similar thing in chess. So here the move which I'm looking for, and let me see if people in the chat have been able to find it. I am not very sure. Everyone's saying rook c7. Now rook c7 is playable, but after rook d5, problem. This is a problem. But here's the move that is given by many players, and that is, I'm so proud of all of you. Jai, AK, Yogendra, Anuj, Pranav, Sameer, Shaibi, Bhavesh, Amrit and Ritik. They say queen to d4. What a beautiful move. मतलब कितना बढ़िया मूव है. Just look at it. ठीक है. First point. If you take queen takes e2, then check. But black is like, arre, no problem. I'm just blocking it. Find the move for white. White to play. Let's see how many of you are sharp. Meanwhile, we have a super chat from Surya who says, love from Switzerland for your work. Surya, thank you so much for your super chat. Surya, what's the move here? I'll give you a small hint. It's mate in 2. Do move mein mate. Can you find it? I have like full trust on the chat that they can find this move. Let's see how many of you are able to spot it. Look at this. Chat is in its element. Well done, all of you. Fantastic answer. Fantastic answer. It is made into Rook F8. Sagar, Vardhan, Pranav, Harshal, World of Wit, Dynamic Chess, Rajam Shankar, Luminous Lamp, Shaibi Binoj, and Shatakshi just take on F8. And you just look at this pawn. This is a watchman here looking at E7. And so my queen moves in as a killer and boom, it's a mate. Okay, so that's the reason why, you know, tactics are very important. Many times you're like, oh my god, mera either knight mar raha hai, I have to keep control of it, I have to save it. But then comes queen d4, which is a beautiful move. And what does MVL do? He has to take, knight takes, and now Vishy is actually much better, much better. But there's a small tactic still to foresee, that after rook d5, here there are many ways in which white can continue, but I guess the easiest one is to play knight to c6. Now threatening a check where I'm going to win your rook, so you must take the pawn. And after one second, let me shift to the big board. Yeah, and after knight takes b4, white is just 2 pawns up. I mean pawn up, but these two are monsters on the queen side. So that's the reason why it seems to me that Vishy should play f4. He should play f4 if the knight. And by the way, here's the question that was asked by Arjun. He asked, what if rook d5 here? That's a very good question, Arjun. But I want to know what chat thinks here. White to move. You see, queen has to move, then the d pawn is kind of stopped. Let's see what move. Gokul Verma says, yesterday I won $5 in online chess tournament. Arey, very good. Yes, Sminil Mahajan, very good. That's a right variation that you have given. Oh, very nice. There are two moves which I think are winning here, and both are in the top. So excellent job by people in the chat. So here, you want a live board? Live board I should put up. Yeah. Okay, sure. I'll do that. So queen b2, excellent answer here by queen b2. This is by Parth, Arush, Siddhant, Somendu, Monish, Alt, Shaibi, Rahul, Wilson, and Story. So this is a cool move, because now if you move the knight, let's say you take the pawn, then your knight is hanging. But if you move the knight, then we already know the finishing touch. Check, knight f8, takes, and checkmate. Right? So this is one. The other move, which is beautiful and which is being suggested by many, is queen takes d5, e takes d5, and now f takes e5. This might not be very clearly winning here, but now if you take queen takes e2, here's a nice move. White to play and win. Can you find it? Not so tough. Come on. A simple move, simple. Oh, Anish Armageddon game is going on. It's going on, huh? Anish game. Oh, Anish versus Topalov. Oh, let's have a look at that Armageddon. Maza aega, maza aega. Let's have a look. And yes, D7. Fantastic answer by everyone here. Fab the Turtle, Naveen RS, Vijay Satvika, Aditya Arora, Prajnay, Amit, Chess for Fun, Dhananjay, Mohnish, and Himalay. Beautiful move. I want to make a queen, and somehow the black queen has no way to look at this square. It's lost. Okay. Very nice. Excellent. But Vishy Anand seems to have gone for another approach in the game. Anand is like, okay guys, I understand you all love that after rook b5 in this position that I should play f4. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play the move queen d4. No, wait. Did he play f4? Did Anand play f4? Oh, Anand played f4, yeah? Excellent, guys. f4, knight. Getting confused with so many lines. Yes, it has happened. Guys. f4 happened. f4 happened. Knight went back. Vishy played queen d4. Queen takes d4. Knight takes d4. Rook d5 has happened. Wow. Anand has reached this position. Okay, let's go to Anish's game. And because Anand is better, maybe he will win in the regulation time control and he'll get 3 points. What is Anish Giri doing? Oh, Anish. Wait. Anish versus Topalov. Anish has 1 minute 42 seconds. Topalov has 1 minute 59 seconds. Draw is enough for Topalov to win this. Anish has to win. The last move is bishop c5. Now bishop f8, king g2 has been played here. Okay. White is pawn up. Anish has to win. Okay. But king g2, and now what does black do is the question. Guys, focus here. Anish has a big pressure on him because what is the time control? It's 40 moves. There is no increment. They are on move 32. Then 1 second increment begins. And Topalov taking so much time. Topalov, you don't have so much time. But also, what does he do? This knight is like a monster. It can give some deadly discovered check if the rook moves away, like 97, and you lose the queen. The best move here could be rook c1, offering a rook trade. Maybe once again we are struggling with not the right moves that we are able to see. Let me just see if I can try and fix all of this. Oh yes, 2 moves. What? He blundered. Oh, he blundered. King g2, queen c4 by Topalov, and Anish went 93. Game over. Arey, Anish Giri won. Anish has won the game. That is very quick win for Anish. And that is awesome news for all the fans. Anish gets 1.5 points. Topalov gets 1. So he was actually doing okay. I mean, he was lost anyway, but queen c4 was just a blunder. There is a nice knight fork. I will put this in one of my examples of knight forks for beginners. Kalpak Tole. By the way, let's go back. And by the way, Mamedyarov beat Aryan Tari. So Mamedyarov also gets 1.5 points. Going back to the game of Vishy Anand. And what we have analyzed has happened. Rook d5. Anand playing so accurately. All the ideas that we talked about have happened. But guys, don't you think that Vishy might lose a pawn here after rook d4, b4 and f4 both are hanging? Isn't this bad? Well, let's say knight c6 and now you play rook takes f4. But in such a position, I have a feeling that white pawns are just too strong and I can push a4 and black is struggling. Although there is material equality on the board, white pawns are moving forward slowly and are going to win this game. Kalpak Tole, who's been a pillar of Indian chess for 7 months, he says, hello Sagar bhai, tuned into the stream after a long time. Yes, Kalpak, good to see you. Was away from chess for some days. How are you and Amruta? We are very well. And how is CBI? Excellent. Everything is good. Also, what is going on in the chess world? In the chess world, so much is happening, Kalpak. Pragnananda played amazing at the Chessable Masters. Anand did superb at Superbet Cup. He yesterday beat Magnus Carlsen in the Blitz in Norway Chess. And we have Chessbase India Originals coming up. India has secured the most number of teams at the Chess Olympiad with 187 countries taking part. So many things happening in chess. So, guys, don't go away for some days. You know, many things right now. It's the most hot, you can say, period in the chess world. So many things taking place. Yes. Spidey Dude says maybe if there are odd teams in Olympiad, India would have a third team. Yeah, exactly. Oh, people said after rook d4, why not go rook c4? Okay, that's also a good idea. But you know, after what MVL has done here, by the way, takes, and this should win. So yeah, you guys are right. He went e5. MVL plays e5, and now you know this is a very important moment in the game because you are winning the game. Okay, there is no doubt about it. But in front of you, in front of you is an opponent who is very resourceful, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, and he is going to fight like anything. He's going to fight as if his life depends on this game, because generally whoever is losing fights very hard. And in such games, many times the side that is winning blunders and loses. So your task is that in every move, let's say after 95, you have to think, what will I do here as white? Okay. Now, first thing to think is patience is important. You should not hurry. You should not be quick. But also sometimes you have to hurry. Sometimes if you are too calm, you miss the moment. That's the problem in chess and in life. Someone will say, do not hurry, be calm. And when you are calm and you do not hurry, then what happens is something comes up and you have to hurry. So you have to always keep in mind, like for example, if I go a4, suddenly what happened? What did I do wrong? Black to play. So that's why it's always good to end your calculation with opponent's move. What should black do here? Black to play. Let me see if at least 100 people are thinking about opponent's moves here. We have Gautam Bala who says, Sagar, do you think Anand will win this tournament? Very tough, Gautam. Very tough, because this is a classical tournament. It requires a lot of stamina. He has to play for hours and hours for many days against these top players. But then he's Vishy. And I would have said at the start of today that who's the favorite between Vishy and MVL? MVL, of course. He's the better player. In terms of youth, he's the better player right now. He was the world blitz champion, and but she's beating him. So at the end of the day, I can't even say that what will happen. By the way, look at this. We have so many people who have given the answer. Bipin Bist, Harsh Shingrut, Madhav Krishna, Amay, AK, Ramesh Kote, Nilesh Jadial, Paradoxical S, Belligerent 07, Harmony 2K10. Rook B6, I hit the knight and I take the pawn. This is very, very bad. This is not good. So that's the reason why I have to move the knight and you will win the pawn. So there is where you have to be careful. You can't just start pushing your pawns. Okay, 95. By the way, some moves have been played. 95 happened. Anand went rook c5. See, Vishy very, very sharp. Check, king h2. f6 has been played. Now Anand's move. Let's look at what you guys come up with. Come on, guys. I want to see how many of you can guess the move that Vishy will play here. Everyone in the chat is like, passed pawns must be pushed. Passed pawns must be pushed is what is the mantra there. And so the right move here, by the way, just checking. Yeah, the right move here, and I think many of you have given this answer. Let me see. A4, phenomenal. Now is the right time. Now you can push. So A4, all those who have said A4, kudos to you. Right move by Amrit, Nilesh, Abhay, Hemant, Utkarsh, Mohit, Saugata, Saurabh, Ayush Kumar Jha, Kappa, 322. And now look at this. If my rook goes from behind, then here you can already just defend with rook c3. And this looks safe now. Next move, let's push the pawn here and you will be better. Let me just make this board slightly bigger so everyone can see it better. Okay, let me go back here. And Vishy after f6 is thinking. By the way, Naruto11, thank you so much for your huge super chat. Why not exchange the knight, says Harshirat Kaur Shergill. Fantastic, Harkirat. I like your move, which is knight c6, right? It's excellent. If black exchanges, then I exchange with the rook. And now these two pawns are going to work very much nicely in tandem. Let's say king f7. I go a4. You attack my pawn. I defend it. Now you go here and you are like, oh, now this pawn can't advance because I will take it. This pawn can't advance because I'll take this. But then you just go like rook b5, and then next move you go a5, b4, rook b6, a6, b5, rook b7, a7, b6. That way you can just slowly and steadily push your pawns. These two pawns are very easy to push and are completely winning. Black cannot create a passer on the other side so quickly, and it is losing. So Asim Khan says, Sagar by another amazing tournament, फिर से RIP sleep. Well, I think this tournament, yeah, could end sooner, like by around 1:32. Let's hope we can all keep our healths intact. But yeah, this is the thing. India should start organizing super tournaments. Yeah, matlab, if it is in India, then basically we can all have a nice time. At 3 o'clock it starts, 9 o'clock it ends. Then everyone can go to sleep. But everything happens mainly in Europe, these super events. And so I'm hoping that in the future we can do more such super tournaments in India. Already the Olympiad coming here is a start, and I'm sure more events will happen. Yeah, we will try to do more. By the way, Wesley So versus Radjabov is an amazing game that's going on right now. Teimour Radjabov seems to be under a lot of pressure. Someone said, can you please explain why Wesley So is better in this position? Just one piece is the reason why Wesley So is better. Can anyone tell me? Which piece is the reason? Exactly. The knight on d5 is a fantastic outpost. Deep Bhansali very rightly said. Ayansh Singhal, Dipanshu Malviya, very good. The knight on d5 is a monstrous knight, and also on the same time the b5 pawn is hanging right now. But even if you don't take it and you play just the move c4, and let's say he takes knight takes c4, look at the white pieces. The white knights are beautiful, whereas the black pieces are very passive. So I have a feeling that here Wesley So might beat Teimour Radjabov. Radjabov has, I think it's a good thing that he's playing this tournament. He looks a bit rusty. He looked a bit rusty in Blitz, and I think he needs some play because he has played very little. He's, of course, a classy player, but this game practice will help him for the candidates. Magnus Carlsen, on the other hand, seems to have not a very clear advantage against Wang Hao. He's played his rook to c1, and here's my question to everyone here. What is the move that black should play? Now, think about what is my opponent's idea and try to stop it. It's very difficult for many to think this way, but think कि मेरे opponent की idea क्या है? What does my opponent want? And then try to stop it. What? Everyone in the chat uh, giving some news. KK dies in a concert at 53. Oh, yeah, he was an excellent singer. Heart attack, yeah, at 53. Yeah. This is very surprising and very, very uh tragic. Yeah, I used to love his songs. Some of them so, so good. Okay, so Rook C1. And here's the question that I wanted to ask you. What's the move? Let me see what are the answers that I've got. Rook A8, fantastic job. Queen C8, another excellent job. So these two moves take the right answer, because the reason why Queen C8 and Rook A8 is to be played is that White's idea is Queen A6 attacking the C6 pawn. And yeah, Karan Patra, Jai, Madhav, Aryan, Sayantan, Himalay, Patrick, Nikunj, Kamalka, Nihar, well done. Pinky, Shivam, Harsh, Ritankar, Saurabh, Aryan, Dhananjay, Prince, Soumya, and Abhay. Well, excellent. He goes Rook D6. That should allow this. No, maybe he's got this ready. Yeah, C5. Yeah, maybe his idea is to meet this with C5 to get rid of that weakness. Okay, let's go back to Anand's game and see what's happening there. Oh, guys, whatever we are thinking has happened. A4 played by Vishy, Rook B1, Rook came back, and now Rook to A1. So, right now, MVL is telling Anand, look, I know you are winning. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make your task of winning as difficult as possible. So that means that you cannot advance your A pawn easily. And because your knight is here, you cannot even advance your B pawn. So the question is here, what should white play? Don't hurry. Yeah, just be calm. Let's take it step by step. How should we play? So our chat chess moves tells us that the best move here, knight c6. All of you want to play this. Knight to c6. Hussein, MD, YT, Manan, Harsh Mittal, Mamba, Mukund. Excellent. I think this is not a bad idea at all. This is an excellent idea because you are exchanging the knights. By the way, 40 moves are coming to completion. This is the 39th move. So then they will get 10 seconds more, but no time increment. It's only, no, there's no resignation or what. I don't think it's some sound that came, but there was no resignation. Oh, what? Oh, Anand won. Anand won. Vishy won. Vishy won. Vishy won. Once again, once again, once again. It's showing on chess 24 that Vishy won. Vishy played rook to c7 and MVL resigned. Vishy won. MVL resigned. Guys, Vishy Anand has won. Amazing. Amazing. He played rook to c7 and he just resigned. But, I mean, he could have played on, no? Okay, he just thought that there's no point. Okay, one question, okay, to you guys. Rook b1, what will you play? So I was telling, like, calm down. Aram se khelo. Sometimes speed is needed. So what's the move here? Yes, yes, exactly. Look at this move. Look at this move. A5, fantastic. And after rook takes b3, now what do you do? Important moment. Let's see how many of you can find this answer now. I'm going to use the chat chess moves. Not easy. But yahi to hai. This is the moment where all the mistakes happen. If you are going to be calm, breathe and think, just think properly. Guys, थोड़ा ध्यान, look at it carefully. Don't hurry, don't rush. This is the moment that I want you to be professional, to calm yourself down. And I'm going to look here and I'm going to be very upset because A6 has been said by so many of you, 110 people, but only 16 people have calmly said knight to c2. Excellent job by Kappa 322, Hemant Kumar, Jayant Ayadevara, Nilesh, Adarsh, Shivansh, Beat Me, Dakshat, Abhay, and Nihal. Now, why do I say this is a very important move? Because the pawn is going to a6 anyway next move. It will go to a7 and then will come rook c8 and a8 queen. This is happening. The rook cannot go to a3 because the knight controls it. So if I want to go to the a file, I will have to waste the move. So my piece is saved because of it. Imagine that in your hurry, you actually go and push a6 here. Now you push the pawn to a6 and you think that take, I will play a7, rook a4, I will give a check, king g7, and I will make a queen. And guys, this is winning for me because I'm exchange up. No, it's not winning. Why is it not winning? Because you have a rook, he has a knight, he has 3 pawns, you have 2 pawns. This is a theoretical draw. And this is where winning games are either drawn or lost. It happens a lot because of sometimes you don't calculate well enough. Sometimes you lose your patience. Here, rook b3, it's very natural to push and try to make a queen. But once you go knight c2, you realize how strong is it. Yes, I know Vishy won, but I'm just trying to tell you this very important point. Now, let's have a look at this game from the start just so that you know what happened. Vishy with white, I'll give a small overview. Played e4. His opponent MVL went for Sicilian. He's very well known for his Sicilian. d6. This is known as, what's the name of this variation, guys? Patrick Bro says Vishy still has the world championship caliber, huh? Yeah, that's true. He still has it. He has it in him, and it seems like he's come with some fresh energy, after not playing for such a while. This is known as the Moscow variation, not Rosolimo. If the knight is on c6 here, and then you play bishop b5, this is Rosolimo. But when you go d6 and bishop b5, this is known as Moscow variation. He played bd7, takes, and now Anand took the center with c4, knight f6, knight c3, knight c6. When I was studying this variation at some point, here is an interesting line that I saw. G6, okay, d4, takes, knight takes, bishop g7, castles, and now if I go bishop e3, there are some ideas like knight g4. So first f3, and now after rook c8, attacking this pawn here, b3. What should black play in this position? Here's a very nice move that you all should know. Black to move and equalize. Yes, I think Shashank, he played this to avoid Najdorf and going into the sharp lines. But this move, you should all remember, this was, I had first read it about this in this tournament book of San Luis 2005, which Topalov had won. In it was this move, and I was so surprised by this next move. It is really an amazing move. And let me see the chat chess moves. How many of you have found it? Only 4, and so a few more. Sarvendra Maheshwaran, Santosh S, Arun A, Ramesh Kote, Satyashekhar Mitra, Swapnil Telang, Arnav Bidwai, Pushpendra Shekhar. Fantastic. The move that I was looking for is d5. And you will be like, what? How is this move even possible? Isn't this square so beautifully controlled? Well, the problem is if you take ed5 here, then now black will take knight takes d5. If you play cd5, I will take rook takes c3. The knight is hanging. But if you play knight takes d5, then I can still okay, I can take, but the better move here is e6. And now this knight is hanging, so you have to take. If you go back here, then knight takes e4 is very strong, unleashing an attack here. And if you take, I take, and this is once again better for black after rook d8. If you move the knight, a1 is hanging, so he can't take with the knight, he can't take with the c pawn, he can take with the e pawn, but there is knight takes d5. So these are the reasons why d5 is a beautiful move. I hope you like this move, d5. It's an excellent move. Try to keep it in mind. The way I remember this, even after all these years, is that there is no knight c6 in the position. The rook comes quickly to c8 to attack here. And that's how I also remember how white should play better. He should not castle here. In fact, he should begin with f3, and after castling, he should put first bishop e3, so that if rook c8, now b3, and you will see that it's more important to put the bishop on e3 and the pawn on f3 than actually castling first. So that's the reason why here bishop e3 and f3 is the f3 and bishop e3 is the correct way to meet this line. Anyway, in the game, g6 bishop g7 was not played. First they went knight c6, d4 came, cd4, knight d4, g6 happened, f3 played by Vishy, smart move, bishop g7, bishop e3, castles, castles, and now a6 was played. I think this is an important moment, and I think Vishy's next move is something that I wouldn't have played in my game. What I would have done here, clearly, he played knight b3. What I would have done is I would have gone queen d2 here. And this is where black is able to equalize very quickly after takes. What is the move that black should play? Black to move. This is an important equalizing move. Anand is now world number 11. That's so cool. That's so cool. So the move here, no, e5 is not a good move, guys, because e5 looks like it's gaining a tempo, but after bishop e3, it only weakens d6 and d5 squares. So find a better move than e5. Let's look at the answers here, and the right move is b5. Pinky Upadhyay, Ramesh Kote, Ragul GK, Jaideep here, and b5 is the right move. So the thing is, for all of you to understand, is that whenever you are looking at the Maroczy bind, this two pawns here create the Maroczy bind. At that point, the breaks that black is looking for is b5, d5, or f5 to break this bind in the position. So if you are not careful and you give any one of those breaks, then black is able to equalize. So Anand went knight b3, e6 was played here, queen e2 was played, slightly unconventional play by both players, rook f d1, rook f d8, rook a c1. Vishy brought all his pieces into the game, rook c8, and now he brought his knight back. And here MVL should have gone for one move, which looks very good here. Now that you know what are the breaks available in the position, what is it that black should have played here in this move, in this position? Very nice. Excellent job done by so many of you. Bablu Badmash, Rajam Shankar, Pinky, Shush, Saibi Binoj, Adarsh, Jay Agrawat, Manish Sharma, Ramesh Kote, Starboy, D5. Central break would have been very nice. And you can see that black is doing excellently here. Maybe what MVL might not have liked is after take, rook takes, and e5 in such positions, pushing the knight away. But after knight e8, it looks like white is doing, I mean, you can't take here because if you take here, then queen takes e5 and black is fine. So maybe you want to do like cd, ed, and f4. But after knight c7, I think black has excellent resources here. So should be around equal. But he went knight d7, and now Vishy Anand played b3, b5. I think this move b5 turned into a mistake because after take, knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, he took back, and now Anand couldn't take on b5 because clearly if he took here, then this is hanging. He could have tried taking this way, but he did not like it. Maybe he felt like there could be counterplay here with rook c5 and rook c8, putting pressure down the c file. So Vishy went first queen d2, rook b8 was played. Now rook takes d6, b4, knight e2, knight jump to e5, rook d1, knight to c6 was played. And I think this next move is the epic move of this game. What should white play in this position? Very nice move. I mean, too good. Too good. By the way, Carlsen and Wang have drawn, so they will go for an Armageddon very soon. But look at this next move. Yeah, this is just too good. How did even Anand think of it? I'm just trying to wonder. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Let's just say that I play the move h3. Okay. Then after rook takes d6, it's just lost here because of, I want to ask a question, but okay, by the way, impatient loser, Keshav Kansal, Ramesh Kote, Krishna Gulati, Sam, Omkar, Hola, Kenanda, Arush, Shubham, well done. The right move here for white was e5 that Anand played. But the point is that if you played a move like h3, it's losing because after I take, what's the move that is winning here for black to play? Yeah. Rook d8 is absolutely right. What a move this is. Just rook is lost. And if you take here, then I'll first give a check, intermediate move. And once you move your king, I will take the queen. I'm a rook up. So excellent job by Harsh, Uday, certified genius, Silkam, Sijan, Rohit, Ramesh, Pinky, Sujit, and Ankit. But what I loved about Anand's move here is that, he could have thought, okay, fine, rook d8. He could have played takes, rook takes, and played queen to c2. And then after rook d1, queen d1, he could have played this position where he's a pawn up. But then, okay, there's a check, king f1, and you anyway lose this pawn on a2. So, that is where the move that is tremendously powerful, e5, it just clears everything. Like, for example, you can't take here because you will lose your rook. And if you don't take, then this I'll take with the pawn and I'll have a strong passer here. So MVL had to go queen a7 check, king h1, queen f2, and now once again Vishy showing his class, finding rook c1. He can't take. If he takes, he will lose. So he must play rook d6, ed6, knight e5. And again, a very, very superb move. Because if you play f4 here, then knight d7. And okay, the position is still fine. But look at this move, no? h3. How did Anand find h3? It's just a waiting move. It's like, why h3? But f4, knight d7. But let's say if I go h3, is it like zugzwang that black doesn't have a good move? Like let's say you go h5. What's happening now? Rook c2. So if check, then there is king h2. But if I go like directly rook c2, then there is queen f1 and you have to play knight g1. So maybe h3 is just all about making a loop for the king. Rook b5, and from here we saw the game. Queen d4, excellent move. I mean, Vishy's accuracy in this game is simply off the charts. Like too accurate. 3, c7, a5. No, this happened after rook c7, he resigned. So, brilliant game. Rachit says Alireza Firuza and MVL won't be playing Olympiad as told by Jan Gustafsson. Yeah, it's a surprise. It's a surprise because France team was such a strong team if both of them played, but without them, yeah, France doesn't have that same power. Yeah, guys, I think with that we will end today's stream. Or do we want to see Magnus's? Yeah, all those who are, of course, talking about KK and his death, I feel like it's a big loss. Of course, I spoke about it a few minutes ago, but also I was just looking at all his great songs that he has written, like "Tu Hi Meri Shab Hai." Um, I have these list in front of me, and there are songs which you have heard for days and days, and of him. Like there were these slow songs, and there were these very emotional songs that he would sing. And I think this is the thing about any great artist, that once you create something of value, people are going to treasure it even after you have gone. So sure, we will listen to his music for years to come. Just like how if you look at any chess player, even after they are gone, like let's say Fischer, for example, or any great player, we continue to look at their games, we learn from them. And that's the thing about any artist. Yeah, I think we'll end right now. Yeah, let's have a look at the standings. That's a good request. I think I can try and pull that up. Um, So let me see. Yeah, these are the standings. Vishy Anand right at the top there with 3 points. Mamedyarov 1.5 because he won the Armageddon. Anish Giri also on 1.5. Right now, Topalov and Aryan Tari on 1. Carlsen and Wang will play, so one of them will go to 1.5, one of them will remain on 1. Maybe Wesley So will move to 3. And Radjabov might be on 0 against MVL. So just checking Wesley So's game. Yeah, it's very complicated. Radjabov is already a pawn down now. Yeah, Anand is world number 11. That is true. Maybe tomorrow I should start the stream a little soon, yes? What time do you suggest, guys? I started at 10 at 11, around 11 today. Maybe 10:30 tomorrow. Where did Radjabov go wrong? Okay, 9:30 and 10 is what the. Yeah, this move Rook C8 was not the best. That's what the engines say. Rook A C8 was better. And then somehow this maneuver is beautiful. Knight F1, knight E3, knight D5. And then he managed to get better. Yeah, it's just winning. Who's Anand's next opponent? That's also a good question. Once again, Vishy Anand will next play Topalov tomorrow with black pieces. Then he will have Wang Hao, then Wesley So. Magnus is number 5. Anish, Radjabov, Mamedyarov, and Aryan Tari. That's how it's going to go. How to get tickets for the Olympiad? They will put it up. I mean, they will announce. Still, there's no announcement yet. Okay, guys, take care. I'll see you all tomorrow sooner at I think 10. That would be a good time. And then we'll follow the games. As always, it's very important to focus on the good things that are happening all across. I know that there are many of you who are very sad right now with what has happened, and rightly so. A great singer has passed away, but also it's very important to stay positive. And so I try to do this every day. Maybe you all can also try. Maybe it can help you to always write 3 good things that have happened in a day with you, and maybe that will help you. I did not believe in it first. I used to think, okay, if I think in my head, how does it matter? But it's just like if you write it down, you kind of start believing that good things are happening also around. So yeah, please do that. And until then, guys, take care. Good night. And as always, Vishy winning, world becoming world number 11. That's already big news. And let's hope that he moves to the top 10 in the world at the end of this event. Take care, guys. Bye bye. We'll end it with this. analyze them. You can also create databases and manage them. It's a powerful tool for any serious chess player and is used by all the top grandmasters in the world of chess, be it Carlsen, Anand or any other tournament player. The best database that works along with ChessBase 16 is Mega Database 2022. The database opens inside of ChessBase and has over 9.2 million games with over 100,000 of them being analyzed and annotated by top grandmasters across the world. The biggest advantage of this database is that you can search any position and get to know who has played it before with the reference feature. You can also prepare professionally against your next opponent, which will help you to gain precious rating points in your next tournament. Get the ChessBase 16 and Mega Database now. Link is in the description.